What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
It's that holiest of day, Sunday,
Yes.
where I golf, but I golf spiritually on Sundays. So very happy to be here. Our country is really thriving. Our country is doing great. We have beautiful construction going on at the White House. We have, we're killing people. It's called efficiency. Elon Musk was Doge. He was Snoop Dogy Doge, and I think I've been a lot more efficient. I'm destroying the White House with no permits. I'm murdering Venezuelans with no permission and really no reason. Because if you think about it, reason is what slows it down. If you're just killing people randomly quickly, you're sort of I'm almost like I actually want Venezuelans to start calling me Presidente Columbine because I'm just blowing up and murdering people in their country.
So you're basically covering an area of water and playing a video game with any boat that goes by at a decent speed.
In It's almost like PlayStation 6 in terms of the quality of the graphics.
Have you ever got behind any of the drones to fire a few, or you let the professionals handle it?
No, to be honest, one of the first drone attacks we had, they said, "Sir, this boat has drug dealers." And I took the controls. I said, "I'm going to do this. I'm a hands-on president." And they said, "Sir, that's a class fishing trip. You've steered the drone too far." And I said, "Well, they might grow up to be drug dealers." And I lit them the hell up. Bye bye. A school of fish and a school of dead Venezuelans.
You're just preparing for the future.
Well, we're doing it's sort of where you ever see Minority Report? I think I brought this movie up before.
Yes, I haven't seen it in a really long time though, but
Great
yes.
movie, very strong in terms of crime prevention. If you kill the criminals before the crime happens, that's the best form of crime prevention. It's like condoms, but if the condom murdered the person before they could come. Wouldn't that be interesting? It's Trojans extra strength condoms. They'll rip the guy's dick off and kill him before he can come.
It's Trojan condoms with the real Trojan warrior.
Right. It slices off, it uses its like sword and chops off the dick, and then the guy bleeds out. And it's like, now you're not going to get pregnant, guaranteed.
Well, you did mention this new ballroom. I heard it's going to be a gold ballroom.
I was inspired by the movie Goldmember, starring the great English actor Austin Powers.
Okay. So you want it to be fully gold. Do you think that is presidential?
Sorry, Tiffany is doing stupid things right now. Unfortunately, I've got her hanging around. I think it's very presidential. I think it's going to be the most presidential bidding. I think what's great about it is that now the White House will be the second biggest part of the White House.
But shouldn't maybe the ballroom be classy and elegant, not gaudy?
As somebody how many buildings have you built and designed tech stuff?
Are we talking real or virtual slash Lego
I'll
slash
say
Magna
all.
tiles?
I'll even let you include those because I've done a lot more than you and a lot bigger. And
Bunch of Lego Magna tiles, I must say.
well, gold is incredibly expensive, which expensive equals classy.
Hmm.
Okay. And we've done we've looked at the designs and it's unbelievable because we will basically have golden toilets.
I was going to ask if you could share the details.
Of course, it's going to cost $300 million, which is 100 million more than we had anticipated, which is
You
because it's so classy.
you went over budget.
We did, and then we destroyed the East Wing. We were trying to make it work with the East Wing, but we just destroyed it. We just decided around Friday at 5 p.m. I said, boys, it's okay. Just knock the whole thing down. We'll get permission later.
You
Um,
are the president, so why not?
right. And people were saying, oh, history. Oh, what about history? What about the people's house? And I said, no, it's my house. Thank you. But they were inside each table. Okay.
Hmm.
Each table is a very rare form of glass. Okay. So that instead of floral centerpieces, like a normal, like that's yesterday, we will have a hot OnlyFans model pooping on the glass table, and you can sit underneath it and watch. Okay, so that's the
It's
first thing.
before dinner or after.
It's during dinner. And so you can look at it. It's a beautiful. So now we're talking this rare glass, this beautiful form of glass, and all the OnlyFans models have to be paid top dollar. We're not going for sort of low tier OnlyFans models. The toilets will be made of solid gold, and the cocaine trays will be made of platinum,
That's nice.
and the bathrooms will be equipped with both drug paraphernalia and drug rooms, but also S&M dungeons, so that you can, if you're like, yeah, I'm skipping dessert to go have a dominatrix step on my balls, because we're going to be dealing with powerful, classy people.
I like that. How is the ceiling going to be decorated? Is it be a giant chandelier, or there will be some sort of painting like the Sistine Chapel?
No, neither. The entire mirror, well, the entire ceiling will be a big giant mirror, so that when we have presidential diplomatic sex parties, you can see from all angles what's going on.
A mirrored ceiling. That's classy. Everything's gold with a mirrored ceiling. You might go blind in there.
When you go blind, that's a sign of great wealth.
When you walk in and someone goes blind, you like turn the lighting down a little bit.
The blacks for Trump are already going to call it the bling bling room.
How long until this ballroom to be finished? I mean, you are the president. I'm sure every contractor you have working 24 hours a day.
Oh, sure.
Um,
We've brought in tremendous amounts of illegal Mexican workers to build it very fast.
that's good. When do you think it's going to be ready by to have the first party? The summertime?
Uh, I think we'll probably do, as Christians, we'll probably do a Christmas 2026 party.
So you're saying a year from this Christmas it's going to be done?
We could have, I mean, maybe a year from the elections when we have the midterms, when we win big in the midterms, but it'll be about a year. You're
Uh,
asking not to, we have to test everything. We have to bring in prostitutes to have sex and take shits on the table to see if everything works. So we really, and we have to make sure the Mexican workers, I've used, I ordered only the cheapest supplies for the entire ballroom because I'm pocketing the difference in terms of wealth. And so we obviously have to make sure it's structurally sound, that the poop doesn't break the glass, that the OnlyFans models are the right type of models. And so and then if it's ready in August 10th, like what the hell date, who the hell has a party in the middle of August? So I figured maybe just waiting till either midterms are done
okay.
or Christmas. What better way to celebrate Christmas than OnlyFans models taking poops on glass tables while you eat McDonald's?
So so McDonald's. So you're not going to have like bring in a special chef.
No, we are.
Um,
We're bringing in my favorite McDonald's from Florida. They will relocate
They're going to be the
to the
caterer.
ballroom. They will be the official chef of the Trump Bukkake Ballroom.
Is that the official name of the East Wing?
It's that's sort of the unofficial. We're still working on it. We have several unofficial names, but we're going to see about more official names.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, I also read that there's a possible US and China trade deal going to be signed possibly. Can you go into that?
They have something called, they're being very unfair. You've
Mm,
seen how fair I am with other countries. It's like, oh, you didn't like my Truth Social post? 25% tariff.
exactly.
Oh, oh, you're a friend? Well, give us everything or we'll starve your country. Oh, what's that? We're allies? Well, if you don't give us 0% tariffs and pay me money to my foundation, uh, we will stop giving you AIDS medication and food so that your people die.
That's fair.
So that's just totally fair. What I
Hmm.
do, it's just total diplomacy. It's total fairness. It's America first. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
What China's doing, because they have like 80% of the world's rare earth minerals. Now, these rare earth minerals are very important for the electronic batteries, for technologies, for AI.
Hmm.
And they happen to have like 80% of them. And they're trying to put a monopoly on the things that they own. When what they should be doing is saying, sir, what's the best deal for you in terms of getting our natural resources that we dug and have in our own country?
So they should give you a better deal on their natural resources.
Exactly, because when I tell countries to fuck off and to die and to give me tens of millions of dollars to my personal bank account or in crypto, that's just being fair. But
I
when
get it.
China says we want to hold these rare earth minerals that we dug up in our own country, they're going with a very nasty philosophy of finders keepers.
And you don't like it?
Well, because the other part of that is they're basically calling us losers who are weepers with hard R's, weepers with hard R's. And we're not. We're winners with big hard R's.
Winners of big hard R's. Um, so do you think there will be an agreement or I mean you dig your heels in pretty hard and I'm sure Xi does too. So do you think you guys will meet in the middle or this is just talks?
Well, we're not going to meet in the middle because he's being completely unfair. What I will suggest him is I'll lower the tariffs if you give us all your rare earth minerals.
How about a percentage of them?
100% is the percent I'm asking for. So that technically is a percentage.
That is, you're
It's a
right.
very
That is,
strong, it's a very strong percentage, but it's a percentage.
I think it technically is the strongest percentage.
Well, you know what? You should know this because I know you're into sports. There's actually a level of 110%.
It's true, and only the best give that to you.
Exactly. I'm actually being nice telling China you only have to give me 100%. If I were a coach, I could demand 110%.
Right? China really should be thanking you.
That's all I'm asking. Finally, tech stuff gets it. That's all I'm asking is how about a nice thank you, sir, for letting us keep that extra 10%.
um, Wanted to ask you, how is peace in the Middle East going?
As
I'm
far
reading
as I
about lots of murders.
Yes, but the fake news isn't reporting on how peacefully the murders are being accomplished.
So there is peace, and on top of the peace, there are many peaceful murders happening.
Right, like quiet, like shh. You ever walk up on a guy, in the movies where they sneak up and they like stab him in the throat and just go and cover his mouth. So
Yeah.
that's a peaceful murder. That's peace. It's not disruptive. When the killing is disruptive, it's bad. When it's peaceful, it's okay.
So peaceful murder in the Middle East is still peace.
Exactly. Couldn't it? That's basically the Trump doctrine.
Right? The Trump doctrine. Um, so it's good that your plan has been successful.
There's times where I look and I say, I didn't even realize I knew I would be successful, but I didn't know I'd be this successful. This is sort of an extra level of success.
But Bibi is kind of pushing for more war because when there's peace, like we discussed in our earlier episode, he is going to be prosecuted.
Yeah, well, Bibi is interesting because first he wants to stay in power because he doesn't want to be prosecuted, but also he gets, as I think I've suggested before, he and his wife can only really have sex if he's murdering, civilians.
So that only does it for him if he murders civilians.
I don't want to. They say don't kink shame, so I'm not trying to kink shame BB. Don't kink shame BB. He's a powerful, virile man. He's a man of strength and passion,
Of course.
and he just sort of when his wife sees a nursery school was blown up in Gaza, she gets very turned on.
Okay. I did not know that. Halloween is coming up. I'm sure in Mar-a-Lago there's huge Halloween parties. Can you share, A, are you going to be in a costume this year? Or is Melania dressing up? And B, what kind of party is being thrown at Mar-a-Lago?
We always have a strong Halloween party. Um, the theme this year is actually Christian because we want to set a good example. Obviously, Melania is going as uh, sexy Mary, Jesus's
Okay.
mother. Um, so
Are
she's
you
going to be
going as
wearing.
Jesus Christ?
Well, that would be creepy because she would be my mother.
That's true.
Like, so that
But
would
I
be.
mean, it's just a costume. It's Halloween.
It's still we're trying to be do good Christian costumes. So
Okay.
uh, I'm going as sexy Judas,
It's good. Okay.
and
What's your costume going to look like?
like buff muscles and carrying 30 pieces of silver crypto.
Okay. All right. And what's Melania? What's her outfit?
Her outfit is like a torn, like sexy, low cut sort of garment, like rags
Hmm.
almost, but then with like a flap open where she'll be nursing a buff baby Jesus.
Okay. It's very cool. Very nice. Are there any special treats at Mar-a-Lago for Halloween? You bring any special entertainment, any bands, hypnotist?
No, there was none of that. There was none of that during Christian times. So we were sticking to sort of birth of Jesus sort of theme.
Okay.
So Roger Stone's wife will be hanging out with the 12 disciples. They call them Dick. They call them Dick disciples when they're with her, and
Okay.
so that should be interesting. Just
Her and the disciples just as you walk in, they're just in like a life-size diorama,
that's right. They're learning, biblical things.
and people can observe all the biblical things.
They can all observe the strong Bible going on.
There you go. I like that. Um, so that seems like a nice Halloween to have. I wanted to
And
talk to you.
sort of wholesome because there's some of my supporters who are very hardcore and they're like, oh, we don't believe in Halloween, sir, it's the devil. So I thought if we could combine Halloween with strong Christianity, maybe it would be more broadly acceptable to them.
Yeah, a pagan holiday celebrated in the most strongest Christian ways.
Exactly. And of course, Ivanka will be playing Mary Magdalene, the prostitute.
What's her outfit?
Um, Fuck me boots, like the real high. I
Yeah,
don't know if they had them. They were probably fuck me sandals in the ancient times, but we're updating
definitely.
it a little bit to boots
Okay.
and just body paint that says "Open for business."
It's very Christian.
Very Christian.
This party's getting more and more Christian by the second. I wanted to talk to you about ice. Anyone can be ice. Is that
Goes great in a beverage.
yes? But we're not talking about that ice. We're talking about ice agents, and I think anyone can be ice with very minimal training. Is that true?
Yeah, they hold on, excuse me.
Yes.
We've lowered the training to If you don't have a high school diploma, do you have three reference letters for hate crimes that you've done?
So you just need reference letters. Well,
No, I mean there's different ways. So okay,
okay.
for instance,
Hmm.
and the radical left should like this. You know how the radical left wanted to get rid of test scores, and oh, if you just write an essay or if you have a poem, you can go to Harvard now. Well, so we've sort of broadened it. Obviously, if you have a college degree and pass the fitness test, you can join ICE pretty quickly. But if you simply, for instance, remember the officers who beat up Rodney King?
Yes.
We would just accept that tape. If the officers wanted to join ICE, you could submit that tape, upload the tape, like a comedy festival, upload the link and send your $50 application fee, and that would be enough for you to, or have known racists written endorsement letters. Oh, I once saw him use the hard R against an elderly black woman at the supermarket. Well, that's going to jump you right up the list.
How about a leaked picture of you at a Klan rally?
But if it's leaked, I almost wonder if you're committed. Why didn't you just share it with us?
Okay.
Leaked
Good point.
means like, are you ashamed? Have you ashamed? These are top tier qualifications for ICE. Um, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite athlete? Sort of questions.
Do you have professionals scanning social media for people who use the M word the most and recruiting them as well?
Oh, well, we are offering, it's called the Trump Hard R Scholarship Fund. So we are offering bonuses and training, extra training to people who we find have sort of exceeded. We're actively recruiting those people.
That's due diligence by our government.
We have to find, we'd like the people to come volunteer, but obviously, if you have talent, maybe people are saying, oh, under the woke Biden administration, they wouldn't want me. And we want to make it clear, no, we want you. Uncle Sam Clan wants you.
Now, but citizens, American citizens are being picked up. I don't know if you know of this. I know a recent manager of a well-established comedy club in Chicago, who was an American citizen, was recently picked up by ICE and being
What
withheld
was
from his
that?
family. He's a manager at the Laugh Factory, I heard, in Chicago. I see a lot on social media, people posting his arrest and everything, and he's an American citizen.
Well, I'm just going to say I appreciate that all the comedians who care about free speech were in Saudi Arabia when this happened. You
A
know
few
what?
of them were.
It's we're looking into, obviously we don't want to pick up American citizens, but why the hell were you acting like such an immigrant if you're an American citizen?
It's a good point there. It's a very good point there.
Here's the thing,
What's behavior of acting like an immigrant?
Dave Chappell, a great comedian,
Yeah.
free speech advocate, gave me a chance on SNL and was in Saudi Arabia telling jokes. Uh, he once said about women, he said, a woman said, just because I'm dressed like this doesn't make me a whore. And he said, but you are wearing the uniform. And I thought, that's how I feel about Americans who look like immigrants. Do you have a suntan? Are you speaking Spanish? Are you eating Chipotle? Are you watching a baseball game? Do you have a lot of kids? Do you go to Catholic church? Do you go to church? Do you dance salsa? Do you eat Mexican food? Do you
Have brown skin?
well, have a tan?
Okay.
Do you like Bad Bunny? These are
Do you play a lot of
things.
soccer?
Do you play soccer? Do you play baseball? Do you ride in pickup trucks? Do you ever go to a Home Depot?
Do you
You
have
know,
pickup soccer games on Saturdays at local high schools and parks?
exactly. What are you doing all those things for if you're so American?
You got a really good point there, Mr. President.
Well, you know what? It's true. And, if you're proud to be an American like Lee Greenwood wants you to be, then maybe you wouldn't do all these other things.
I wanted to ask.
Do you go to Taco Bell?
That's true.
Do you go to Del Taco?
Red flag.
Do you work in a kitchen? Do you eat at a restaurant? Do
Do you
you
wash a dish?
do you eat at the park? Do you have events at the park? Do you have quinceañeras? Do you live in the Bronx? Do you live in Texas or California? These are all very big red flags.
Well, ICE is doing an excellent job. Mr. President, we haven't heard of was it small Mike Pence? Was that his recent his last name?
It was small game Mike Pence.
Small game Mike Pence. Now, small game Mike Pence, we haven't heard from him in a while. He hasn't been in the spotlight, kind of left politics almost. Um, but recently I read something online that your last conversation with him, I want to confirm, you called him a wimp.
Yes, I called him a wimp with other words as well.
What was the context of you calling him a wimp? Did it have to do with January 6th?
It started with January 6th, but then, because, he was very nasty to me. Everybody thinks he's this good Christian, very nice guy. He said to me on the phone, he said, "Sir, I think what happened on January 6th was terrible and was not good for our country." And I said, "Mike, how dare you talk to me? You've never talked to your fat, disgusting wife that way, you wimp. You've never, ever done that. You've never fought for our country. Nobody respects you. You're a punching bag and a bitch and a little fake straight guy. We know you're in the closet. I hope you die. I hope you die in a fiery car wreck, you piece of fake Christian, weak ass bitch shit." And, as you could see, I didn't go as nasty with him as he went with me.
No, he
He
was
was so
way
rude. He
nastier.
was so rude and nasty to me that I gave him like sort of half of what he deserved.
Yes, you you really just were sticking up for yourself.
Melatonin told me I showed great restraint.
You did. You really took the high road there. Very mature of you, Mr. President.
Sometimes you got to take the high road. I like to punch down. I like to beat up my enemies, but sometimes you have to just, take a different approach, a very nice approach.
I like that approach. Mr. President, before we get to these next stories, I just wanted to let everyone know about our Patreon. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/MPGA. We have our Perfect 10 live episode coming up this week. It is on Wednesday, on the 29th of October at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So there's still time to join the Patreon and get on that Perfect 10 episode. Also, there's hundreds of hours of bonus content, Fred Trump tradition, special guests, special shows, Rotten Oranges. Brett Kavanaugh had a show on here. So there's hundreds of hours of bonus content. Check it out, patreon.com/MPGA. And if you haven't already, leave a rating or review on iTunes and Spotify. That really helps us out. And
I would like
that's
to
it.
say something
Of course.
on the Patreon. Also, this week, Barton Trump will have a bonus episode. So anybody at that $5 level will get a Barton episode. And Rotten Oranges will go up Halloween, and it will be an updated list of what I consider the 10 scariest movies of all time.
I can't wait for that. So check out the Patreon, patreon.com
Any level.
slash M.
Pick a level and support the show. And if you can't pick a level, let's say money's tight or you're just a nasty person. 5-star review on Apple Tunes and Spotify. Do it. That costs nothing and it's insulting. And maybe this week you'll share the episode. Our supporters are very they keep it private. They wonder
Yeah.
why the show isn't a huge success and they tell nobody ever about the show.
Greedy, keeping it to themselves. Share the love, everyone. Patreon.com/MPGA. Back to the show. Mr. President, a couple more stories I want to talk to you about.
A lot of stories.
A lot of stories today. You are taking out these drug boats one by one, like you said before, and you talked about this earlier, where we don't even know if they're definitely uh, drug boats. But the thing is, you're making news about this when I read that every president before you has attempted to do this and has done this, um, and they don't really talk about it in the news. Why are you the only one to talk about it in the news? Oh,
Well,
you just want to be transparent with the American people?
I believe in total honesty, total transparency, and I also sort of like I'm basically now the biggest serial killer in Venezuelan history. I'm like the Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy of Venezuela.
You're El
And
Trumpo?
no, that's too Latin sounding. They call me the nickname they've given me is the Venezuelan Shadow because I, if you end up in the water, it's a nice sunny day, and all of a sudden, a big missile comes right in front of you and blocks out the sun and blocks out your life. So I have been very strong in terms of taking out Venezuelans, and um, like any good serial killer, I want to like let you sort of do it. Everybody acts like every serial killer is very humble and wants it private. Here's the secret. I'll tell you a secret from the serial killer community
Please.
that I'm now sort of the official leader of, by the way. I'm hoping Ryan Murphy does a series about me. The Venezuelan Shadow presented by Netflix Monsters. But we want people to know we aren't humble.
So you're the first serial killer to really not keep it a secret
Well, I'm being
and be a
honest.
bragger.
When I talk to other serial killers, they secretly want to come. They're like, God, I wish more people could know how many people I've killed. And I say, well, guess what? When you're president, you can tell them and it's totally legal.
I mean, that's now these serial killers, are you who are your friends? Is it a chat room, a text thread? How is the communication done? Dark web?
Oh, no, we meet once a month at Mar-a-Lago.
So these are in-person meetings.
It's important that ever since COVID, the radical left made in-person meetings. We lost touch. And this is about, keeping touch, being social, being truth social.
So you always got to be true social. If you're not being true social, you're just not being truthful, you're not being honest.
And you're not being social.
I mean, of course, that just figures that ties in. You're not being social. So taking out these boats, do you
And
can
we're renaming Social Security, Truth Social Security.
I was wondering, since you are bragging and you're transparent about this because you're honest, will you be streaming these killings on True Social?
It's a great, you know what? And I hate to admit this because I like to always have the great ideas. We will be now. I hadn't thought of that. But imagine if all of a sudden you get an update on your phone. Trump has gone live with assassinations in Venezuela. How many millions, if not billions, of people will tune in to that? I'm thinking actually, what I want to do is for the 250th anniversary of our country next year, is what I want to do is every Venezuelan that survives a drone attack in the boats has to then fight our MMA fighters on the White House lawn.
I like that idea. That's a great idea. Who will, I mean, if you're going to have these videos streaming, you have to have the play-by-play and the color commentator.
Or
Who would
Rogan,
be,
Rogan's going to be part. You're a big Rogan guy. Rogan's got to be part of that team.
so he's going to be your color guy. Who's going to be your play-by-play?
You want somebody who's sort of an expert, somebody with sort of like not knows the game.
Joe
Uh,
Buck?
oh no, I was going to say we're going to get Charles Manson out of prison, so it'll be Manson Rogan.
The, the team of Manson Rogan announcing
Yes,
the drone attacks.
yes.
I love it. That's awesome, Mr. President.
Rogan will do that thing like when the boat blows up, he's going to go.
What? And throw his headphones into the air.
I hope so. If he doesn't, he's going to be fired.
And then he grabs the other color commentator because they're
Exactly.
shocked. I love it, Mr. President. Last piece of news I wanted to talk to you about. What are your thoughts on Timothy Mellon, businessman?
Timothy Mellon, is that even a real person?
Yeah, he is a Republican. He is a businessman. I think he's
Oh,
part of the
sure.
Carnegie Mellon clan.
He's the grandson. Oh, yeah, sure. He's an heir to the Mellon banking fortune.
Yeah.
His net worth is somewhere between $1 and $4 billion. And he's a smart guy. He's a strong conservative. Uh,
Well,
very
he is he a good guy?
well. I mean, you tell me. I think he has a lot of great qualities. He's a supporter of me. He hates taxes. He hates unions. He hates teachers. He thinks women's studies, LGBTQ studies, and African American studies are disgusting. He loved my friend Rush Limbaugh. Um,
Good
and,
guy.
and most importantly, he gives tremendous amounts of donations to me. So I think he's a super top tier guy.
Well, this government shutdown's going down, and he recently said he was going to pay all the military for the government shutdown and pay their salaries.
That's very nice. I see no problem with that. I see no problem with a private citizen paying our military.
Why don't why don't you help him out and split the bill, maybe? Be patriotic.
Well, you know what? Because if I do that, people will complain.
Really? They would say, what, you're too giving?
You say I'm trying to rig the shutdown, which I am, but I don't want them to say it. And if I did it, then people would start to say, oh, he's turned the military into his private army, which I would. I would then say, I pay your salary, now go kill those radical left people.
Hmm. All right. Well, that's fair. Mr. President, appreciate you spending every single week with us. You are a very busy man. Check out the Patreon, everyone. Patreon.com/MPGA. Also, our live episode is this Wednesday, October 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can still sign up for the Patreon and get on this episode. Also, I will be in Connecticut, Comedy Craft Beer in Connecticut, November 14th and 15th. So check out comedycraftbeer.com for tickets on November 14th and 15th and more dates coming for the winter time. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Remember, any level of Patreon this week, you're getting bonus material. Hey, everybody, it's JL. Thanks to the folks who came out in Philadelphia. Just a bunch of stuff coming up, and I have a lot of stuff in New Jersey, various shows in New Jersey over the next month and a half. And then I will also be in Long Island. And then the big shows, the real big ones in December, that's Princeton, Toronto, and Charlotte. So, check out the website. It seems nobody ever checks out the website. It's fun that I have it, and it's so informative and entertaining, and nobody ever looks at it. So great. Um, but yeah, thanks for listening. If you're a Patreon person, thanks for being a Patreon subscriber. And I got another podcast. I got blah 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 blah. Check some of it out. God help us all.